You remember your first band, what the name of it was?
Yeah.
What was it called?
My first band. I'd say my first real band was called Line One, which was when I was at Beverly Hills High School. And
so not New York City, you didn't have a band?
No, that was more like little acoustic showcasey kind of stuff, and go down and rent space and those rehearsal places in the 30s. And I played on a couple little hip hop records that actually, which is every once in a while I'll go, oh my God, that's me going, digga, dig, digga, dig. Like some Africa Bambaataa something, or
what made you go from New York? Because New York was still happening.
My family moved to LA.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So my parents, my brother,
I didn't realize that.
But so I was middle of my junior year in high school. And so my dream was to just get into a band and, study guitar, like take lessons and do sessions. There was that era where, I looked up to Carlton and Luke and Jay Graydon and those guys and Buzzy Featon, and like, I want to be those guys. You'd just comb these records, back when they had credits.
Yeah.
And, you'd see this guy produced this record. Oh, wow, that's the same drummer from that record. Right. And, you mean the drummer from Lowdown is the same drummer from,
Jefferco.
Yeah, it was Picaro. It was like, you're like,
Lee Sklar.
And who's this Lee Sklar,
Yeah.
And who are these people? Well, who's that funk? Oh, it's Buzzy Featon. Who's the other guitar player on that Stevie Wonder song? Oh, it's Jeff Beck on the right, and it's Buzzy Featon on the left.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Oh, he played in this band. He came in. So but you had to really work hard to find out who these guys were and are. And I've been doing that ever since. I still do it. It's like, who's this guy who played on Lenoir's record, or who played on this? And how does the Edge get this sound? How does so-and-so get this sound? What is that? An omnichord? Okay, cool. Put through a memory man and a SCD.
See, that's the same thing you were doing when you were a little kid going left and right.
Yeah,
it's your brain.
It's a curiosity.
When did you start writing songs?
I started writing probably at 14 or 15, but I was too shy to play anybody my songs. They were more very James Taylor-y, folky, Cat Stevens-y kind of songs. Because, I couldn't record. It was pre-Portis Studio. I mean, I eventually got a Tascam Portis Studio 143, which changed my life.
What were you using when we were on tour? I'll never forget that moment. We were on tour. The sun is or dusk is coming. Or sunlight's barely coming. We're in Italy, and we're listening to Rage Against the Machine. They came up with, was it their second record?
Yeah.
Or was it Audio Slave?
No, it was Rage.
Rage. And did you have an Akai out there? You were doing all kinds of writing.
MPC too. I had an MPC.
And you could...
So I was sampling and creating grooves, really.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Well, grooves... I started with a Tascam Portis Studio, and then a Dramatics drum machine, and then a Juno 60, and a 57. That was like... And then I got a Spring Reverb, and then I got a Effectron digital delay, and then I got a DBX 160 compressor. Like I just kept like slow. And this is when I was like 18, 19, delivering pizzas and playing on people's demos. But every time I still living at home, and I would buy gear, and it taught me about counterpoint, and taught me about sounds and recording and layering, and of course my songs sort of by the time you finish those 4 tracks, bouncing them down.
The Beatles,
you start,
how genius that was.
You kept brightening it. So by the end, so you start, I don't know, it was very helpful. And then eventually getting a better drum machine. And then eventually many years later, getting a sampler and an MPC, and learning how to, I could sample that little drum break from there, or that snare sound, or that thing, and mix it with this. And so I was a fan, because it was mixing hip hop with acoustic, anything I could do, anything that inspired me, whatever it was, some kind of sound. So, whether, even Massive Attack, and mixing it with, hip hop. And
I remember you out there, man, you turned me on to Dortmunder or Dortmuster.
Krunder and Dorfmeister.
Yeah, you turned me on to that stuff. You were like, wow, check this out.
But it's also Eno. I'm a huge Eno fan, and I've, because for me, you know, ambient music is so important for me personally. Ambient music is so important because it has nothing to do with a chorus or you know, a hit single. It's about an emotion and a mood.